Hello everyone, my name is Alex and welcome to Alex Vlogs. Today is vlog number 6 and the topic is how to get rid of fear of death. Now before we continue, I would like to ask you to pretend that you don't see this awful haircut. Now I had to do this silly intro because today's topic is a little bit, I'm not going to say sad one, but unpleasant one. For many people it is unpleasant, and this is one of the reasons why I chosen this topic for today. And the second reason why I have chosen this topic for today is because I have spoken with my friend a few days ago and I have noticed that he is thinking about the death quite often. So hopefully this video will help him or anyone else, and let's move on. Now before we start, I would just like to remind you to subscribe to my channel and press the like button if you like this video. Now let's move on and let's see which are 4 ways to get rid of the fear of death. Fear of death is also called Thanatophobia, but because it is hard to pronounce, I will just call it as fear of death. If we are honest with ourselves, we will admit that we all have some fears. So don't worry if you are scared and if you have a fear of death. Luckily there are some ways to overcome that fear, so don't worry. Just stay tuned and watch the video until the end. So as I said, there are 4 ways to get rid of the fear of death. The first one is accept it. I know it's easier to say than do, but you should really accept it. There are more than 7 billion people in the world. Right now. Now imagine how many people were born and died until today. So death isn't something special, we all experience it. And I have just mentioned you human beings. Now imagine all the animals for so many millions of years. So as you see, it's a natural process, nothing special. We all get born and then we die. Now it may sound cruel to you, but it's really not. See the life as something special, as a gift. Because if you are totally honest, you have been gifted with a life. Imagine that you were never born. You could never have children, you could never travel, you could never experience beautiful things in your life. You see? You have been gifted. So what you need to do is make the most of your life. And as far as death is concerned, well, nobody can escape it. Nobody can change it. So what you can do is to accept it. This is the best way to handle the fear of death. Accept it as something normal, nothing special, we all experience it. But what is really important is the quality of your life. So let's go to number 2. So as I said, we are at number 2. Quality over quantity. So if you have a fear of death, most probably you're scared of dying. Most probably you're not just scared for yourself but also for your family. Because you're losing them, they're losing you. Of course, nothing is beautiful in death. But imagine you are suffering somewhere, or you're living in a prison, or you're in a war. Imagine living this way for 500 years. Imagine being hungry 500 years. Or being cold. Or being lonely. Or being a slave. Or in any kind of bad position. Now that's terrible. So let's say you're in that bad position. Would you still want to live forever? Most probably not. So what I want to say to you is, it's about quality, not quantity. You should also feel blessed. Because 3,000 years ago, life expectancy was much lower than today. So you're living in some kind of blessed time. So don't worry that you won't live for 200 years to see your grandchildren grow up. Or 500 years, or 1,000 years, or forever. What you need to focus on is how can you improve your life, how can you live as long as possible, but enjoying your life. So let's say approximately at 10 years old we already know what is going on around us, and we are already starting to think with our head. So from 10 years old until you die, you have quite a lot of time to understand that there is nothing you can do about the death, but there is a lot to do regarding the quality of your life and regarding the quality of your loved ones. So if you're smart enough, then you will quickly realize that all the time and all the motivation, all the strength in yourself should be focused on improving your quality of life. Honestly, if I could choose, I would rather live 50 years perfect life than 100 years in misery. But of course, there is no life such as perfect life. But what you should do is to strive to have the best possible life you can. And this was a good analogy that I could show you and that I could present you so that you could see that it's not about the quantity, but it's about quality of the life. So now that we understand that it is about quality of the life, we can move to number 3. Third way how to get rid of fear of death. People that are feared of death are somehow trapped in their mind because they are constantly thinking about the death. And what you should do is you should constantly think about your life. So instead of thinking about death, what I would suggest to you is think about your children, how you can spend a good time with them, where you could go, what you should do for the next year. Plan your success. Think about beautiful stuff. Think about your loved ones, how you can surprise them, how you can make them happy, how you can make yourself happy. So think about the life, not about death. Think about yourself, about your loved ones. Think about beautiful stuff. By thinking about beautiful stuff, about your loved ones, your focus will change from death to life. And soon you will realize that you're feeling much better. Because now you're thinking about life and you don't have that much stress in your head and you're not trying to solve a puzzle that you cannot solve. Nobody ever solved it. So why should you think about something that you can do anything about it? There is nothing you can do about it. So why should you spend time thinking about it? You should rather use that energy and think about the stuff that you can change. And what you can change is the quality of your life, the quality of the life of your loved ones, and this should focus. So if you have a fear of death, I would suggest you to constantly dream about better life. Dream about the beautiful things that you would like to achieve or experience. Just dream all the time about the beautiful things. There are so many beautiful things in the world. There's so much good people in the world. You most probably have a family, or you have a relative, or you have someone close to you. You should rather think about how you two can spend a good time together. Now let's move to the last one. Number 4. Live with a purpose. I must say that I really like this one. Living with purpose means better life for yourself and for your loved ones. Now you're most probably asking yourself, but how is living with purpose coincidental with fear of death? Well, it is very connected. Living with a purpose means focusing on your life, focusing on your purpose, on your goal, and that is why your focus on death, your fear of death, is not largening, but it is smaller every single day. And what is the purpose of life? Well, that is more of an individual question. For me personally, I am living this life for my family, to spend the much possible time with them, to enjoy this time that I'm given, and to create something good, to leave something behind me, especially to leave happy children. So my personal purpose of life, our children, are my family, and to experience as much of beautiful things as possible. And what it means to me is that my mind is occupied with achieving these goals. And this is why it is very successful in getting rid of the fear of death. So what you should do is you should find a purpose in your life, whatever it is, whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you dreaming about it, whatever is enthusiastic to you, whatever is worth living for. So you should choose this, and you will see with the rest, first of the 3 tactics, you will definitely get rid of death and you will live your normal life. So these were 4 ways how to get rid of fear of death. Thanks for being with me today. If you support my work, please subscribe to my channel, and if you like this video, please press the like button. And remember, don't think about stuff that you cannot change. See you in the next video. Bye!